So everyone, iOS and iPadOS 17 Beta 4 just released to the developers and will be releasing to the public developer program if you haven't received it quite yet. It was a relatively smaller change than what we've seen in the past because again, we're now on Beta 4, we're getting closer and closer to that public release, which should come in middle of September, around that time frame, whenever Apple has their iPhone event, which I'm very excited for. But let's talk about all the differences we found, some bug improvements, some performance improvements, some battery life hits. Let's get into it and leave some comments down below if you guys are in the program itself and if you guys updated to Beta 4 and how your experience has been so far. Let's get into it. So let's get right into this video, everybody, and as you see, we have iPadOS and iOS 17 Beta 4 here, and the first thing I do want to bring up is the actual build size of each one of these. So the first one you can see with iOS was about 1.27 gigs, so give yourself at least 3 gigs of external storage or storage in order to get this installed correctly, and then iPadOS was actually a little bit smaller, so if I go into the photos here and zoom all the way in, it's right under a gigabyte of space, so 984 megabytes. Give yourselves around 2 gigs of space to get this installed and installed with no issues. And again, since we are on the beta program and we are on Beta 4 now, Apple's just iterating and making some small features and changes. We did see some new things which we're going to talk about, but again, these are going to be smaller and smaller as we get closer to the final release, which ideally will be in sometime mid-September. So hopefully that means that these updates are going to be all about stability improvements. But if we now go into our settings over here, and if we go into General, go into About, then go to the iOS version, you do see that we're on iOS 17 21A5291 lowercase 8. So we're getting closer and closer to Apple lowering that letter moniker, and once we get to A and then the release candidate edition, that means we will be getting the full release. And again, Apple will have their September event and Apple will announce it, and probably 3 days after that, iOS 17 will be available to all supported iPhones, which goes all the way down to the XS and XS Max. Just keep in mind. So in terms of what's new with iOS 17 Beta 4, there aren't too many new features, but the first thing we will talk about is about Name Drop. So Name Drop is a new feature that Apple came out with, which is basically like bumping to kind of exchange contact information, which is kind of funny that Apple is doing that since they kind of made fun of it years and years ago. But if you go into your settings and then go to General and then go to AirDrop, you now have a new setting here called Bring Devices Together, and you have the ability to toggle this off and on. This toggle wasn't here at all before, and basically what it's saying is easily swap numbers with Name Drop, share photos, and more by holding your iPhone close to another iPhone. So maybe you're in a scenario where you don't want to use Name Drop and you don't want to accidentally bump phones and have that happen, you can now toggle that setting off. But one interesting thing is that with the iPad, if you go into General and go into that same settings menu, you have that same option right there, which is funny because Name Drop isn't coming to the iPad because iPad doesn't have that technology, doesn't have that ready to go. Unless I'm mistaken, leave a comment down below if you think otherwise or know something that I don't. But as of right now, Name Drop is not coming to the iPad, but it seems like they'd have that toggle right there. And again, it's referring to this device as an iPhone, so maybe there was a little bit of a hiccup here with this new Beta 4 rollout, but it is on the iPad. Let me know if you guys have that on your iPad. We did get this new UI with iOS 17, which is this plus button to kind of access everything that you need to access from a settings menu or from an iMessage menu. Remember before with iOS 16 and below, you had that bar on the top of the keyboard. Now that moved to the plus icon, but you do see that it's a little bit different compared to Beta 3. So in Beta 3, this camera icon was different, and the Photos icon here wasn't actually a Photos icon, it was actually showing you your most recent photo in your recent photo library. So that changed with this new menu. You also get the new cache icon here with Apple Cache, audio is there, and then the Find My Location now looks a little bit more robust, and then the more is in this little circular kind of toggle also looks different. It looks a little bit more iOS-like. Before it kind of looked like maybe Android-y or it looked a little bit different from a UI perspective. These are all new icons and visual changes that came to the iMessage kind of app icon, and again, it also translates over to the iPadOS. The next one has to be with Standby. So Standby has to be one of the kind of underrated features that iOS 17 is bringing. It gives you that new mode where you can kind of put your phone to the side and it kind of acts like a real alarm clock. And that's something that we didn't know we actually wanted, but I use it literally every single night now. But if you go into the settings and then go down to Standby, you have a new toggle down here which says Show Preview on Tap Only. So Standby can hide the preview of the notification until you tap on it. So now if you have it on standby and you see a notification come in, you can tap it and actually interact with it, which you said before, you actually have to rotate the iPhone back into portrait mode to interact with that notification. Now you have the ability to turn that off and on whenever you want to. And then to stay in the settings, now again, we're going down to visual changes. You can see that the home screen and library icon right here is actually a little bit different than what it was before. Before it had this kind of white outline, so that visual change did happen. And then lastly, the last visual change that I was able to notice is that if you go into Control Center and you have the Apple TV remote, the virtual remote, that icon also changed a little bit. So something to consider and something to actually look at. So now let's talk about some bug fixes and improvements, especially the #1 bug that I've been dealing with since the first beta came around, and it has to do with iMessage. So iMessage, when you would leave a chat and then go back into one, it would basically show the keyboard, but without the actual bar right here to kind of show you what you're typing. So you would type, and you wouldn't even be able to press send or be able to see what you're typing. You'd have to go out of the iMessage, close it out, and then go back into it. It wasn't the end of the world. I was willing to live with it, but now it seems like Apple has fixed it. So this bug for now has been squashed. Let me know with a comment down below if you dealt with this one, because this one was really driving me crazy. And now lastly, let's talk about battery life on iOS 17 Beta 4. This will be a better representation of the actual battery life from Beta 3 because I've only been using this for about a day now, but I am using a 13 Pro Max, and you can see that we're dealing with about 8 hours and 18 minutes of screen on time. And then if I go over the last 10 days, on average, we're getting 7 hours and 13 minutes of screen on time. So overall, it's decent. It used to be better, but the battery life, I definitely see myself charging this more and more in the middle of the day. So for instance, on a day like Friday, you can see that I went over 100%. I charged the phone and I had 7 hours of screen on time and 8 hours of screen off time. On a day like Saturday, where I pretty much just touched 100, 8 hours and 9 minutes of screen on time. So that means I charged the phone. So that means I'm probably getting 7 hours of screen on time in all reality, which as somebody that uses their phone heavily, unfortunately, that's not great. And if I go into my battery health and charging, I'm now sitting at 87% maximum capacity. I got this phone on release date almost 2 years ago, so depending on who you are, you might think this is good, you might think this is kind of detrimental to the battery, but overall, it kind of gets the job done, but I do see myself charging it around maybe 5, 6 o'clock, just to be able to get me through the rest of the day, and that's something that I wasn't doing before, especially with iOS 15 or iOS 16. So that is just about going to do it for this video, everybody. Like you saw, these tweaks and changes were just like they sound. They were small tweaks and small changes to help improve to get ready for the public release. Now that Apple's in beta 4, we're getting closer and closer to that release date. They're just going to tighten things up. They're kind of playing with some small tweaks, some icon changes, maybe some small feature changes. But for the most part, the big hit items like name drop and standby mode and things like that are pretty much working, and they're working how they're supposed to. Apple did fix a bunch of issues, like the issues that I was having with iMessage early on with beta 4. Battery life, especially with my 13 Pro Max, is still taking a bit of a hit, but hopefully that gets fixed with the public release. But as I mentioned, let me know in the comment down below. Are you guys on the beta program? Are you updated to beta 4? Which device do you use? I'm curious to know, maybe on older devices, if you're using like an iPhone 11, how is iOS 17 for you? I want to know how the battery life is doing overall. But that is a new for this video, everybody. If you guys want to watch more iOS, macOS, or iPadOS content, click on one of these videos right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.